But they're trying to paint Cohen as some kind of conduit between Trump and Vladimir Putin. Remember, in the dossier, Cohen's the guy who sets up the payments for this whole scandal to get the DNC emails from WikiLeaks and the Russians and to pay off these key figures in the Russian government. It's all fake. That's the problem. So Papa D, they got to save entrapment. And the reason for doing it. With Mike Flynn, they got to save themselves from the use of a foreign spy. Well, Flynn is a bad guy. With Cohen, they have to save the dossier. Cohen is a key figure in the dossier. And I will say it again. The FISA was Plan B. And the dossier is the FISA. In order for Mueller to save their reputation, he has to put meat on the bone. He has to show Cohen is a really bad guy who was working with the Russians and had deep connections to Vladimir Putin. What's the problem, Joe? They didn't have those connections. In the Paul Sperry piece in the show notes, there's a hilarious part where the Mueller team, there were emails to the Putin folks. And it was to like an online address that went to the basically like you email in the White House with the public email address. Sounds like they were very connected. They were like this, Joe. They were really, Cohen couldn't even get a private email address for anybody in the Kremlin. Oh, that's wow. Was he in deep or what? He was like the Sammy the Bull to John Gotti. I mean, are you kidding me with this stupidity? So the point on Cohen is Mueller leaves out in significant charging documents the fact that all of these communiques with Russia about building a project over there, one, were totally legal. There's nothing illegal about a real estate developer building real estate in Russia or anywhere else, as long as they don't skirt the law here.
Right.
And that's not what anybody's alleging. That's never been charged. And even worse, making it seem like there was some back channel, as Paul Sperry says in the piece. He quotes an insider over there. It's absurd. Cohen had such a back channel, Joe, that they had to email like, hey, email us at info@whitehouse whatever. You know where that goes, in the circular file somewhere. Right? I mean, folks, there's no back channel. This is just Mueller trying to rescue the dossier. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's pretty gross, too. All right, let me move on because I've really hammered this over the last 2 days. But I think now, if you really paid close attention to that, you know exactly what's coming. Negative information, which you should respond back immediately. Well, negative information is not criminal, correct? Because if that was the case, Hillary Clinton would be in jail 10 times over. Also, negative information followed up by exculpatory information means that the negative information wasn't really negative, was it? Oh, you didn't do any of that homework, did you? Get ready. And read it for how it tries to paint a picture of Russian collusion that doesn't exist. There was no back channel. There was no Russian that met with Papadopoulos, agent of the Russian government. Mike Flynn was spied on. He was not connected to the Russians. He was not compromised by the Russians. This is all made up. It is a hoax and a big one. You know, I just realized I went totally out of order for the show. So Paula will go back in order now. She's not happy with me at all. Now that I went out of order, she's probably even less happy with me. It's like the War of the Roses in here today. Remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Was that Kathleen? Was that Kathleen? No, that was the lady. Yes, it was Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
War of the Roses.
Hmm?
Yeah, I remember that movie. That's what it's like in here today. It's a little rough. We're going to have to draw a line. Don't they draw a line like down the middle of the house at one point?
Down the middle of the house. Yep.
I'm just kidding, folks. It's not that, but just messing with you. It's, I got to get in a bed because I'm... All right, enough of me complaining. Bernie Sanders. Oh. I told you I had a few more cuts from the disastrous town hall. For Bernie, not for Fox. The ratings were through the roof. It was the largest viewed town hall, I think, on any network. And I thought Brett Baer and Martha McCallum did a pretty darn good job. Listen, I don't say that because I worked there. I thought they did. Yeah. I wouldn't be using the sound bites otherwise. My show. Fox doesn't tell me what to put on this show. There was one outstanding one I thought was really classic where Martha McCallum tries to pin Bernie down on why he's such a grotesque hypocrite, again, on taxes. He wants everyone else to pay more taxes, of course, but he doesn't want to pay them themselves. This is a good one.
That's fine, but I'm asking you about the wealthy and how much higher you would make it. You said you don't agree with 70%. What would your number be?
In the campaign in 2016, we talked about 52%.
All right, so 52%. So would you be willing to pay 52% on the money that you made?
Also,
you can volunteer. volunteer. You can send a check.
Oh, you can volunteer too. We have a.
But you suggested that's what everybody in your bracket should do.
And Martha, why don't you give? You make more money than I do.
Well, I didn't suggest a wealth tax.
And she's not running for president.
All right, but we're going to fight for a wealth tax. And we're going to demand that we end the absurdity where major corporation after major corporation. You know what?
Yeah,
in this tax bill that you are defending, families like the Koch brothers, what you defending it? Families like the Koch brothers get billions and billions of dollars in savings. That is absurd. Trump wants to repeal the entire estate tax. Huge tax breaks for billionaires. You got another question?
Well, we have many questions.
We have many questions.
And listen, we want to get substance. We want to get details.
Well, let's do it.
And the audience has a ton of questions, too.
You know, there's this cat in my gym, right? He's this cool guy, man. He's like, I don't know, he's 60 or something. He looks younger than that, but I'm guessing. He works out a lot. And he must be like a ballroom dancer or something like that, because he's always in there with one of those like unweighted bars. And he's always doing like I'm not a dancer. I'm as flexible as a fire hydrant. I couldn't, although this guy I know says I danced at my wedding and did a good job. There are significant portions of my wedding I do not remember. It had nothing to do with the alcohol. I'm just saying, someone told me I was a good dancer once. Paula, was I a good dancer? Yeah, she says I was excellent. I don't remember that much. But the guy in the gym's dancing. He does this. He's really smooth, too. And people watch him sometimes. Why am I bringing any stuff? Did you see Bernie dancing?
Oh, yeah.
Martha McCallum asks him a simple question. Dude, well, she doesn't call him dude, but I can. Dude, you're proposing a 52% tax for millionaires. You are a millionaire. Why not just pay the tax? Let me tell you about the Koch brothers. Let me tell you about Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, I saw this movie once when I was a kid, Old Yeller. This was a really good movie. Siskel and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs up. It was this story, but Bernie, What the hell are you talking about? I asked you a simple question. Are you going to pay the tax rate you want the other millionaires like you to pay? Let me tell you about the burgers at McDonald's on my corner.
Yep.
They are good burgers. Let me tell you, they put extra pickles on the McDonald's burgers on the corner.
Yeah.
This is a good burger. I don't want to be told McDonald's is a bad burger. Bernie, we're going to try this one more time, okay? You are suggesting millionaires like you, limousine libs, and limousine conservatives too, you are suggesting they should pay a 52% tax rate. Are you going to pay that rate and lead by example? Let me tell you, Martha, you make more money than I do, Martha. Martha with a great comeback. Hey, Bernie, I'm not running for president, and I'm not suggesting a 52% tax rate, knucklehead. Martha, let me tell you about the Koch brothers.
Yeah.
Or are they the Koch brothers? I don't know because I have a hard time spelling. They are really bad. Matter of fact, the Koch brothers, I saw this guy one time, one of the brothers, and I wanted to backhand them, and I couldn't do it because it's against the law, Martha. Martha's got to be looking at this guy like, I'm sorry, folks, I'm enjoying this Bernie Sanders stuff way too much today, I understand. But this guy, that was the worst answer I have ever, and Bernie thinks this town hall was a huge success.
Yeah.
Let me just put a little meat on the bone for you, unlike Bob Mueller putting fake meat on the fake bone of the dossier. Speaking purely ideologically, what we stand for and what the libs stand for. We conservatives stand for economic freedom. We believe taxes should be collected and paid for to pay for constitutional functions of government that there's widespread agreement on. Our military, maybe the courts. I don't think we should be taxed. Everything should be taxed at the local level. But you get the hint. There's no hypocrisy there. Liberals want a tax to pay for economic growth. They want taxes to pay for schools. They want taxes to pay for everything. Your health care, your retirement via Social Security. Yet liberals don't want to voluntarily pay that. What's my point here? My point, folks, is there is no hypocrisy with conservatives. We donate extra money to things like charity and things like that because we believe it is a net good. My wife and I, thanks to many of you who buy some of our products out there, especially some of the shirts we sell on our website, we donate all of our proceeds to charity. No one forces us to do it. It's not written in our contract with the t-shirt company. We're not, nor are we looking for anybody's pat on the back. We do it because we genuinely believe it will change someone's life for the better. I know Joe gives a lot of time to his church. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sorry if I didn't mean to bring that up, Joe. If you're uncomfortable with it, if you're not, you control the podcast. You can cut it out yourself.
That's cool.
But just tell Paula so she can cut it out of video. But Joe donates a lot of time to the church. He's a performer. It's a lot of time. I know it's time because sometimes I talk to him and he's tired on Monday. Yeah. Nobody forces Joe to do it. Nobody. He does it because he thinks he's creating a net public good. Yeah. It's a spiritual experience. He wants people to feel the tunes. They don't want to have to pay someone. So Joe does it. No one forces him to do it. My point here, folks, is the liberal philosophy is that government is a public good. Government should pay for economic growth, should pay for your retirement, should pay for your school, should pay for your hair care, should pay for your toenail care, your health care, everything, because it's a public good. So why don't people like Bernie voluntarily give extra money like conservatives do to charity? Why? Why do they have to be forced? Bernie has to be forced. How do we know? Because Martha asked him if he gave the extra money over, and he wouldn't answer, I will not give extra money. Let me tell you about Burger King. He doesn't want to answer the question. Because he's a fraud. You're not a fraud. Be proud of that. You know, what's also fascinating, one more thing, and I got a couple other things here, Jim, sorry. They constantly, I played a clip a while back of Nomiki Konst, another liberal who was on Tucker Carlson's show, who I know, well, I don't want to say personal, we're not like personal friends, but I know her from Fox. It's not personal, but she said something interesting. It's like, well, these individual choices, to pay more taxes aren't going to make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole world is individual choices. People in government who vote individual choices. They don't have a collective hive mind, folks. So if what you're saying is individuals won't make a difference because they can't be trusted to do the right thing and have to be forced to pay higher taxes, then why are the same individuals, when we elect them to government, why can they be trusted if you can't trust individuals? Hold on. This is the sound of me scratching my head on the YouTube. Do you understand how every argument liberals make is just dumb? You can't trust individuals to pay higher taxes because they won't do it. Why? Because they're bad. Okay, well, who makes the choices on the tax rates in government? Individuals. I thought you just said they were bad. No, when they get in government, they're good. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Thanks for clearing that up, fellas. All right, another gem of a Bernie moment. I heard this in the car. I was in the car. Was I with my daughter? I think I was with Isabel, my daughter. And I said to Isabel, did you hear what he just said? This is Bernie Sanders. They're asking a question about felons in prison voting. This answer, I'd say shock you, but given it's Bernie, it might not.
Do you believe that murderers and rapists or thieves or child molesters should have the right to vote from prison?
Good question. All right, this is in my state. I recently researched this. It turns out that in our Constitution in the state of Vermont, for hundreds of years, everybody has the right to vote. Okay? So I think you make this division. If somebody does something terrible, they're a rapist, they're a murderer, we send them away. Sometimes we send them away from life. But I also think that integral to who we are as Americans, no matter what kind of terrible things you did, you're paying the price. Maybe you're in jail for the rest of your life, but you have the right to vote.
I'm not kidding. Dude. I looked at my daughter. I said, Isabel, did you hear what he just said? Isabel, Paula, get Isabel. Is Isabel? See if she can come in. I'm not making this up. I said to her, I turned to her in the car. I said, did you hear what this guy just said? This guy wants murderers and rapists in prison to be able to vote. Joe, has this guy thought this through? Yes, I need the murderers and the rapists to vote. This is what did he say in there? By the way, this is not who.